Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Carson Seagram. Welcome back to Financial Tea. I know it's been a while, but don't worry, the wait was worth it. I have so much I want to continue talking about cybersecurity, IT, just careers in general today. But we're going to do a deep dive because I don't know about you guys, but aren't you tired of getting these emails saying thank you for your interest in applying for a company? Or you may be dealing with offers being rescinded. I know, it has been a crazy job market, but don't worry, I'm not gonna just talk about the bad news. I wanna talk about some updates on what's going on, and we're going to talk about the solutions I have that you can apply right away. My hopes is to help you secure that job, and not just any job, a six-figure position, or whichever job you want in IT in your career. So first and foremost, I read every single comment. I always make sure to reply to my comments. I know I missed a couple of them for the past month because yes, I was moving. And for those of you guys who didn't know, I moved from Texas back to South Florida. So it's been kind of hectic and I've been trying to get settled down and everything like that. Thank you so much to all the new subscribers. I was not expecting for that video to really go viral. I mean, the last two about talking about cybersecurity and the Google cert, I mean, I'm just forever grateful. But I want to read this comment. Black Screen Tales 7036 says, all these layoffs are a little crazy. Do you feel it will be the new norm in tech? No, I don't feel like it's going to be normal. I will say this is the longest I have ever seen something like this last for so long. And quite a few other professionals are saying, different signals of what caused this. And some are like, during the pandemic, they hired too many people. Two, the overall economy has not been that great. So some people are saying that these companies overhired. They're saying that they're trying to catch up from during COVID when they were hiring people and things like that. We don't know what's really going on, right? It's just a mystery at this point. Every year, companies like Microsoft, Dell, Google, Twitter, which is now X, have done layoffs over and over every single year. I mean, I literally can look at it here on the screen. They fire people all the time in tech. So to be honest with you, does tech still have job security? Yes, but at the same time, we're really going through something, I would say, a drought. But trust me, I know the pressure that you guys are going through, and that's why I'm making this video, because I'm not gonna just talk about it. I have some solutions to help you guys revamp not only your resume, but how to take advantage of a lot of tools that are out here that can help you advance your career. So one of my friends was new to the IT field, and I was here visiting South Florida in January, and he was like, yo, I'm trying everything. I've interviewed with the airport. I haven't heard back. What is going on? And I said, dude, I'm gonna be honest with you. There are CISOs. For those of you that don't know, a CISO is one of the highest positions you can go to in cybersecurity. And there are CISOs that literally been out of a job for almost a year and they're just now getting back on their feet. So I just want to encourage you guys that it's not you, it's not your resume. Well, sometimes it is the resume, but it's not you. Overall, it's the economy. The job market has been absolute trash. And I hate to say this because you guys know I like to be positive, but there's also recruiters out there being completely unprofessional. I hear it all the time, every single week, of the things that are people going through, being ghosted by recruiters. But listen, don't worry about that. I got your back. And now let's get into it because I'm about to show you guys the tea. Have you ever uploaded your resume to a job application portal and you still find yourself having to retype a lot of things? I'm going to give you guys a template, one of my personal templates that you can use. Make sure you swap it out to your information. Now, one of the biggest things that's important with your resume is a lot of times people just say, okay, let me do two perspectives. Let's say you're new to IT or cybersecurity. You never had a tech role. I guarantee that's probably not 100% true, but let's break it down. Have you ever done tech support or customer service? And if the answer is yes, perfect. Now, what we need to do is put that on your resume in a way that it speaks to the role that you're applying for, okay? So for instance, if you worked at Home Depot, Party City, or maybe you worked at Apple or Best Buy, excellent. Maybe you volunteered somewhere. Guess what? That still counts as experience. We're gonna prep ChatGPT, which is created by OpenAI. I know there's things of like the ATS. There are some things that are important. That's rule number one. I call it setting the parameters, okay? When we set the parameters, we get better results. Same thing with your resume, same way with LinkedIn, same way with your network, right? Let's go ahead and look at an actual job, all right? Let's go to Indeed, look up a entry-level role, right? Okay, so cybersecurity, entry level. I do like to change up the date range. I'll do like 14 days. The max I would say is 30 days. Engineer. This might be fun. Okay, Windows, virtualization, VMware. Have you used a Windows computer? You probably have. Virtualization, this is literally like a virtual box, AWS. If you haven't, trust me, you'll be able to learn that pretty easily. It's not that big of a deal. This position is hybrid. Bulk is being remote. I actually really like this job already. 20% and qualified candidate is able to communicate for our client's Atlas facilities region of Miami. Perform IT support services to users on site using a ticketing system. Maintain documentation. All of this is really entry level. Yes, it says junior systems engineer, but as you can see, this is not that difficult. Primarily use a Microsoft 365 stack. That's a whole different word. I've never seen that before. And this is what I'm talking about. Key point tip. A lot of this is created by HR or sometimes people that are just like, they'll just write generic stuff. Like, I'm just letting you guys know, Microsoft 365 stack is not a word. So usually just Microsoft 365, but I like it. I love it. They're being innovative. This to me is still very, very, very entry level. We're gonna set the parameters. So we're gonna put, chat, you are a 15-year IT professional recruiter. I want you to give me a breakdown of this job in less than 60 seconds to ensure I am a good fit for this role. Let me know when you're ready, because you want to talk to ChatGPT like they're a person, okay? So boom, we're gonna put that in there. I'm gonna grab this role, boom, hit enter. If you're applying a lot, you don't have time to waste, I don't have time to waste. Here we go, a quick snapshot. As you can see, this is literally the same thing I just did quickly. And the more you start to read job descriptions, the more you'll understand how to quickly look at them without having to read like forever. And it's better to just look at it here. So here's a desirable part. See, I didn't read this part and ChatGPT pulled it. Experience in the financial sector or an MSP, which is a managed service provider, in case you don't know what that means. Familiarity with virtualization, VMware, Hyper-V. Okay, cool. This is kind of like a entry-level medium role, but in my opinion, I feel like if you're new, you could still apply for this. The next thing we're gonna do, secret sauce here. Okay, chat, I want to provide my resume and create 2 columns and compare it to my resume and let me know what keywords I am missing compared to the job description. All right, let me know when you're ready. Now I have an old resume I'm just gonna take. So one of the things I recommend before you're doing what I'm doing to put your resume in ChatGPT, make sure you change out any PII, personal identifiable information, right? So your name, your address, you don't want that stuff on there. I usually just paste it and then I put XXXXX, boom, enter. Okay. This is the high level way of using ChatGPT. And I hope that this is helpful because it saves me time. My resume is only missing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But I can see that I have more matches than non-matches. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. So what are some other things that you want to have on your resume to help you stand out, right? So 1, only apply for jobs you really, really want. Number 2, next, I could easily say to ChatGPT, hey, create a quick cover letter for me, right? More lower level there, okay? Now, when we talk about the bullet points in the resume, you want to make sure that you're having quantifiable data, aka what did you do, what did you resolve, and not what did you do, what did you resolve, but like you want to just have the title of your position, then the company, the date, right? And then under those bullet points, don't have more than 4 bullet points on there. I used to have like 6 and 7 because a recruiter's telling me one thing. You don't need to do that. Keep in mind that when you're reviewing your resume, one of my coaches had told me, and my mentor said, listen, we only have about 60 seconds to look at your resume. They don't want to see a whole bunch of information. So what you want to do is have quantifiable results. What did you resolve, right? Don't just keep bullet points like I image computers, I answer phone calls a day. So here's what you want to do. X plus Y equals what? So in this case, what did I do and what did I resolve? So for instance, instead of me saying I troubleshooted tickets through ServiceNow, instead I'm gonna say, okay, now let's get more in depth with the resume here. So here's some of the things that I used to do And I don't use as many bullet points sometimes, depending on what I'm applying for. But I'm very direct, and I also could say use more power words and use things that really stands out. You know, I set up and supported 150 end users monthly. You see what I'm saying? Like it's it's measurable. So you want to have more measurable results. And if you're not sure, watch this. Authored comprehensive new documentation that increased IT department efficiency by 25% and improve end users self-service capability. That sounds so good. Upgraded over 300 Mac OS machines to Monterey 13, ensuring enhanced security and functionality. This sounds really good. So you see what I'm saying when you add measurable results. You want to stand out. Now, create one as a new, create a fictional. Let's say you used to work at Starbucks. Now, for those of you guys that have never been in tech before, let's just see. Here we go. Watch this. This is gold. Now watch this. Enhance customer satisfaction by providing exceptional service, constantly achieving 95% feedback rate through personalized customer interactions, managed cash register, and point of sale system. Not only does that sound more elevated. Now, I'm gonna be a little bit of a stiffler. I don't like 2 sentences, so I'm gonna say chat, reduce this to 1 sentence or less. So I'm also gonna give it more parameters. You know, like I would say like max 4 bullet points, 1 sentence, right? Because they don't have a lot of time. So here we go. Boosted customer satisfaction by delivering exceptional service, achieving 95% positive feedback. Process over 200 daily transactions with high accuracy, contributing to efficient store operations. Train 10 new baristas, enhancing team productivity by 20% through focused mentoring. Led monthly customer service engagement campaigns. What's really cool, this makes me feel really good. Like a friend of mine, literally, he just graduated recently that I met. He graduated with I think a coding background, but he's never had an IT job. I said, let me see your resume. So I sat down with him for about a half an hour and he was just shocked and so thankful. I said, he used the same techniques I'm teaching y'all right now. Kid you not, a week later had 2 interviews lined up. And this was literally a week ago of me recording this video. So I've been using this a long time. The only difference I changed up starting earlier last year was the power words. Game changer. If you do what I'm telling you and be consistent, I guarantee you will start to get calls instead of you having to apply all the time. Don't just apply just on LinkedIn. To be honest, I don't think any of my jobs came from LinkedIn besides them actually messaging me and not me applying for a role, okay? LinkedIn is very saturated and they're also pulling it from so many other sites. What do I recommend? You can still use LinkedIn, but apply if it's a job you really want. Number 2, you have Dice, great resource for IT jobs. You also have Wellfound, definitely Indeed and Monster. I definitely love those platforms. And don't be afraid to let your resume be public. You want this to be so good that the recruiters are calling you and not the other way around. Trust me, I've had companies call me like JP Morgan Chase. I've worked for Bank United. I've worked for Chewy. I've worked for a lot of huge companies. And that's just one thing and another. You can do it, right? The last thing I'm gonna say is the next video, I feel like this would be helpful, but let me know. I feel like it's time that we talk about how to negotiate, right? There are jobs such as being a contractor as a 1099 contract, a W-2 as a contractor, or how you go from a contractor to perm and all these different terminologies, but you also need to know how to negotiate your hourly rate and your salary rate. If you think that would be helpful, let me know, because I think there's a lot of taboo about being on salary and you can't be paid time and a half, because that is 100% false. But anyways, it's Carson C. Graham. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any more new episodes. I'm gonna be more consistent, I promise. And again, this is Carson C. Graham. And don't forget to stay rejuvenated. And I can't wait to hear about the new job that you just landed. I am rooting for you guys. Keep going, keep pushing. And for those of you guys still pushing for the Google Cybersecurity certification, or even the IT support one, or project management, or business analyst, there's so many different roles that you guys can study for. But again, do it at your own pace. If you want to take, 8-hour days or whatever amount of days you do to take and get your certification, go for it. Now it's just to narrate that story on your resume, have confidence, have positivity, and keep pushing forward. You got this. Until next time, this is Carson Seagram. Don't forget to stay rejuvenated.